Hi everyone! I decided to do something a little different and do a little Q&A along with the Speedpaint for Halloween. I want to apologize first and foremost if I sound a little nervous or mumbly. This is not something I'm used to doing, but I thought it'd be fun to try out, so I hope you enjoy. I also want to mention that I don't have a script for this, so I'm sorry if I kind of stumble a little bit. I'm gonna start off with the questions I got on YouTube, then switch over to some questions I got on Instagram. Silver Coon Dog asks, what's your favorite candy? What's your favorite Halloween costume you've seen, and how is your day? I tend to prefer more fruity candies, so something like Skittles, those tend to be my favorite. I've been giving out candy tonight, so I've seen a lot of costumes, and my favorite would probably be this one blow-up alien costume that I saw. It was amazing. And how was my day? It was pretty good. I had fun giving out candy. It was a nice change because I've never done it before, so it was fun. Krellborn asks, what's my favorite soda? It would probably have to be Coca-Cola Zero Sugar with vanilla. That's my favorite. Canned Bees asks, who inspired you to draw? I wouldn't say it's one specific person or thing that inspired me to draw. I've always been interested in art, and I've been doing it for a really long time, ever since I was really young. But I would say, when I started taking art more seriously, it was a lot of different artistic YouTubers that inspired me to, take art and animation more seriously. SuperJax434 asks, how do you draw so good? It's mostly practice. I've done this for a long time. I started doing it seriously maybe 4 to 5 years ago, and I wouldn't be where I am now without practice. Electric Fire 360 asks, what made you make a YouTube channel? For those who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you don't know this, I originally started this channel as an Animal Jam channel. I started it in about 2014, if I'm not mistaken, and I did Animal Jam videos for about a year before I switched over to animation. Kim Weatherspoon asks, how are you able to animate so smoothly? I don't know. Kind of ties back to practice and, looking at other people's animations, tutorials, those really help out too. Lalove asks, why do you draw in that style, and how did you find your style? I've always been drawn to the cartoony style, and it's a style I've practiced for a long time. As for how I found my style, I started out drawing cartoony, but it's also the combination of looking at other people's styles and being inspired by different aspects and trying to incorporate those into my style. So my style is kind of an amalgamation of other, little pieces of other people's styles, which is how a lot of people's art styles come to be. Those are all the questions I got on YouTube. Now I'm gonna look at the questions I received on Instagram. Koranani asks, who's your favorite artist? That's a really hard question to answer. It's impossible to just pick one because there's so many different interesting art styles. Just to name a few off the top of my head, there's Studio Shepin, there's Honeybeast, there's Mellocoon, there's Socks the Wolf, Sappy Cats, UFO House. There are so many people that I look up to and am inspired by. It's impossible to just pick one. Lo-Fi asks, what inspires you to draw and animate? A ton of different artists inspire me, like the ones I listed previously. Lots of animators on YouTube, and artists I know in real life. There's so many different inspirations. Again, it's hard to pick just one. Codename CJ asks, what's my favorite monster? That's a bit hard for me to answer because I don't know traditional monsters all that well, if that's what you're asking, but if you consider them a monster, I really like dragons. Those would probably be my favorite. Starry Swirly asks, are you a furry? I mean, if you want to call me one, sure, why not? I don't generally call myself one, but I guess I technically am one, so sure, I guess I am. The rest of these questions are asked by 4+3BB. How long have you been drawing? I haven't checked. I think it's been about 5 years since I've started digitally drawing. If you're just talking about drawing in general, I've been doing it my entire life. I've been animating for over 3 years now. In February, it'll be 4 years. When did you start developing your style? I think I started truly developing my style around maybe, I'm not too sure, maybe 3rd grade? I wouldn't say I started taking art super seriously, but I started developing my own little style. What's your favorite drawing exercises? I actually don't do that many drawing exercises, but I think just sketching out a bunch of little things like hands, facial expressions, eyes. I focus on specific parts and draw them in different ways. I guess you could call that a drawing exercise. What's your favorite way to consume art, comics, paintings, animation, etc.? All on social media. Places like DeviantArt and YouTube, those are my go-to places, along with Instagram. I would say that's where I look for art most. My favorite song? I would say my favorite songs are video game soundtracks and songs about video games. Favorite thing to hear while drawing? I have this bad habit of just listening to nothing. I just kind of draw in silence. I don't notice it most of the time. If it's not silence, then I'm most likely listening to YouTube. Do you have a lot of friends with similar art interests? I'd say most of the people I talk to are artists as well. Do you ever absolutely hate drawing? Of course, everyone has their bad days where they just don't want to draw. If they try, they struggle or they're disliking it. Why do I draw? It's something I've been super passionate about for a long time. I love the idea of taking the ideas I have in my head and turning them into something visual. And I think that's why I got super attracted to animation, because you actually bring those characters and ideas to life. That's all the questions I received. I'm really sorry if I skipped any questions. Some of them I was just unsure how to answer, or I just wasn't comfortable answering, but I really appreciate all the questions I received. I hope you all had a lovely Halloween. I'm sorry this video is a little late. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time!